I came out of college about 3.5 years ago, and the goal was to work in Holy Trinity in the city for 5 or 6 years and learn how to be a pastor and then think about church planting. We lost one of our venues in the city and we needed to plant a church in a hurry, and we looked where a lot of our people were coming from and planted Trinity Inner South about 18 months ago now, and God's been really kind. It's grown. We've seen lots of new people connecting in with church for the first time in a long time. Some people checking out Jesus for the first time, which is really exciting. And we're just thinking about going to 2 services now because the building where we are is getting fairly full and there's nowhere else we can move to. We had a lot of people come to us who just haven't been going to church for 5, 10, 15 years, consider themselves Christian, but I guess if you're judging on the fruit of that in terms of active engagement with word, prayer, evangelism, serving, there's probably not a lot of evidence that they have a very healthy relationship with Jesus, if at all. Very much in Adelaide, it's a very liberal city where lots of people would consider themselves Christian, but it's just wonderful seeing them come along, sitting under regular preaching of the word, prayer, Bible study, and actually really coming to life in their faith. So wherever you might theologically put them before that, it seems a really worthwhile ministry in lots of ways. It's not the main game of why we're there. We're there to reach new people with the gospel, but I suspect even if you make a differentiation, there's lots of people, I would say, in the last 18 months who have stepped from death to life into a relationship with Jesus. So whether they've got no church background or very little, for us it's all about whether people are in the kingdom or not. And it's just been a really exciting ministry. Well, the last 3 or 4 months we have been looking for a church planter to come on board, maybe for about a 3-year project to plant, get to know our people, take a group out and plant another church. In the meantime, our building is fairly full. We can put out about 180 chairs and we average about that on a Sunday, so there's no point ever having a full church. Planting a church takes a little while. And so we've decided to go to 2 services in October this year, and we're hoping that'll enable us to continue to reach more people with the gospel while we find the right person, build a team around them to plant a church. So we've been actively praying and thinking through planting church. We very much set that as the goal, and multiplying services is really just a step along the way to that. It's not the end game. We're not trying to build a massive multi-site church. We're really committed, particularly in Adelaide, to planting lots of Bible teaching churches. We'd love everyone in Adelaide not to be any further away than 10 minutes from a good Bible teaching church, which sadly isn't the case in Adelaide at the moment. So we want to multiply both ministries and churches, and we're prioritising planting churches at the moment, but it's a challenging thing to do. We would really love prayer for us that God would continue to lead us to planting another church and putting the right people around that. We're very much thinking through the need to raise up lots more people internally and train them and equip them for church planting, which takes a while, so we're looking to bring some people from outside in to help us church plant in the meantime. Often those things compete for your energy and resources, and we want to be really wise about that, so pray that we can build a much stronger, pipeline of people coming up internally to plant churches, but also in the meantime find some great people from outside, interstate, to come and join us to plant. I guess the other point, because we've grown fairly quickly, there's more people now with us than came with us when we launched with a pretty large group, and we've a bit over doubled since then. So there's people with all sorts of backgrounds, all sorts of... I guess we just need to keep recasting that vision of what we're on about, and we'd really appreciate your prayer in that, because we're now communicating each and every week to a very mixed bunch of our congregation, and just trying to keep holding up to people the urgency of the need for the gospel to go out, and not just to create our own church that we love coming to, but always to be thinking of the people not there yet, making more room, and committed to planting churches. So we'd really appreciate prayer that you'd help us to grow in maturity as a gathering, and that we'd be able to keep that sort of single-minded focus to see the gospel spread rapidly in Adelaide and not get distracted.